Welcome everyone to the Virtual Ball Boys podcast. My name is Chris and I am joined once again by my good friend Matt.
Listen, if you want to work out, get fucking Rain Fit Adventure. Hashtag not a sponsor, but it kicks my fucking ass and I love it.
It is quite literally a game where you hold a ring and then do exercises with it.
And that's all it needs to be, and that's all it is, and it's awesome.
Now, I have not played this game. Is the ring weighted? Is that what makes it exercise?
It's not weighted, but it has tension. So when you press it in, it provides resistance, and then press it in or pull it out, it provides good resistance.
Okay, so it's not necessarily hard to pick up, but it's hard to try to maneuver.
Right. If you squeeze it in and out, put it over your head and squeeze it in and out 20 times, your arms are gonna hurt.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, I know that my sister I got my sister for Christmas, and she's liking it, and she's
yes.
She has said similarly that it is quite the workout, but I definitely would be interested in something like that because we need a replacement for the good old Wii Fitness board.
It is so much better than Wii Fit. I cannot emphasize how much better of an exercise tool than Wii Fit it is.
And Wii Fit was made by Nintendo, but this was, I know it's the Switch, but it's not made by Nintendo. It's a beta.
I don't think it's first party Nintendo, but it's the I don't know, the stuff itself is officially Nintendo licensed, it has the Nintendo logo on it.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So it wasn't first party, but it definitely wasn't third party piece of crap.
Yeah, they are
stuff.
Yeah, they are. If it is first party Nintendo, they are Nintendo is just slowly evolving into now a much more competent workout simulation.
They're just doing everything better, and Ring Fit is great. And
yes.
I'm probably going to do it once the podcast is over.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Gets to work out after sitting and talking endlessly.
Yep.
I for one am glad to be back here talking with everyone after a nice week off. What did you do in your week off outside of Ring Fit Adventure?
Did a lot of musical preparation stuff.
Okay.
My birthday was last week.
Yes, happy birthday.
So that was neat. I was a little sick yesterday and was losing my voice this morning, but I'm fine now.
All right. I went into a ball and cried because football was over. No.
No.
Well,
the XFL started.
Yes, which I actually forgot about because I definitely was going to make that more of a recurring segment. But you know what? Since it's actually doing well, I feel like it's not even worth it.
It's not a joke.
No, I can't even make fun of it. Yeah, it's like all right, it exists. People like it. All right, cool. I play a lot of Minecraft this week.
Nice.
Which could be a little bit of a preview into maybe future stuff on Fluffy Cloud Entertainment if you follow me on my YouTube channel. Potentially, I might be making a comeback. We'll see. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of glad that football's over. My weekends have been a lot more free, and I'm happy for the break. But now it's time to get back into it because next week we got the NFL Combine, 4 days of prime time workout action, watching a bunch of men in tighter tights than their actual uniforms, working out. And being evaluated by a bunch of rich old white men. It's great. It's wonderful. This is what football's about. But in the meantime, let's talk about some news that happened in the 2-week stretch that we have been out, and we're going to start with the news that happened most recently, which was today when we were recording this. Drew Brees is coming back after speculation that he might retire. He's back, and he made it very clear over his Instagram that he is not only coming back, but he's coming back to the Saints. He is expected to become a free agent in March, but he should be signing back with the Saints. What do you think of the news?
I think that this is pretty expected. I mean, he is obviously on the older side of quarterbacks, but he's still so good, and you can't count him out for anything.
Yeah, no, I think this was the widely expected, news. I think that it was. I mean, the fact that he was really giving it thought was maybe a little alarming to some Saints fans, um, and that maybe they would have to roll with Teddy Bridgewater, for the rest of for the entirety of 2020, but that doesn't look like it's going to be the case, and he is going to be back and hoping to capture one go one last try to get back to the Super Bowl, after now a decade since he has last been there.
Yeah.
Other news, Greg Olson, who we didn't get a chance to really talk about this, was released, the first big player released after the Super Bowl, and Greg Olson did a little bit of a tour, visited the Buffalo Bills, visited the Washington Redskins, and visited Seattle Seahawks, and he's now expected to stay in Seattle, as he has signed a 1-year, $7 million deal that includes $5.5 million guaranteed. What do you think about Greg Olson landing in Seattle?
I think it's a wonderful fit for him. Russell Wilson, on the Seahawks side of things, Russell Wilson needs that tight end, because when Will Disley early this year was healthy, he was on fire, and Wilson was really accurate and really good with that tight end. Add on Greg Olson, who's really reliable, and two great receivers in Lockett and Metcalf, and this run first team is going to have a lot of good passing options. And for Olson, again, it's a great fit for him. He gets to go somewhere that he can bring to the next level rather than just be a tight end.
Right.
And because Carolina's not going to the next level anytime soon, so having Greg Olson now on a team that can go to the next level, I think is a good deal for him.
Yeah, he wants a shot at the Lombardi, and between the three teams that he visited, it just feels like Seattle is the closest. And he like you said, Will Disley was the kind of the guy for the Seahawks early on in the season, and I think Disley's going to remain the tight end one, and I think just because Greg Olson, he's up there in the age, and he gets beat up relatively easily, unfortunately, in recent years, just very injury prone. But I think that as just a complementary piece as a tight end too, just another target, like you said, that that Russell can use. I think it's gonna be definitely a great place for him to go, as a nice contributor to a potential team that could win it all next year.
Yeah.
Next up, speaking of the Redskins, Josh Norman, their starting cornerback for last 3 seasons, and Paul Richardson, longtime wide receiver, have both been released by the team. And not too much of a loss with Paul Richardson for the Redskins, because they've had the rise of Terry McLaurin, and they do need more receivers to help him out. But Paul Richardson has been kind of quiet in recent years, and it's all right to probably let him go. But the surprise is Josh Norman. He's out, and now but at the same time, he was benched near the end of the year. So, he's just had a downfall generally. What did you take away from Josh Norman being released?
Definite rebuild in Washington going on. Released is a little more extreme than I still expected, though. Despite, just the entire team being so bad for so long recently.
Yeah. I think that it helped them that they did release him, because he was going to count a lot against the cap. And like I said, he did end up being benched at the end of the year. I still found it surprising, though, because you think about at least his first year with Washington, and then his last year in Carolina, that Super Bowl year. I mean, he was among the top cornerbacks in the league. He was playing, relatively well, and so he's dropped off a lot. But I would be very interested to see if he ends up anywhere, where he ends up, to see if he could be at least a cornerback too, if not the top cornerback on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Next, DJ Humphries re-signed to the Arizona Cardinals. He was expected to be one of the top left tackle free agent candidates to hit the market, but the Cardinals keep him on a 3-year, $45 million deal with $29 million guaranteed and $30 million coming in the first 2 years. And generally, I don't know if you have anything necessarily to say to this regarding DJ Humphries.
Not in particular, just more security for that Arizona offense.
Yeah, I would just say with Humphries, he has struggled on and off throughout his career after being drafted by them, and the Cardinals' offensive line was not great last year. He had some things to do with that. I think signing him back is fine. To sign him to this amount of money to make him one of the top highest paid left tackles in the league is a lot. It's a lot to consider. But if you think he can continue to be better as a player, then maybe it's worth it. But very interesting signing, I think, by the Cardinals. And last but not least, Eric Weddle, soon after the Super Bowl, announced his retirement. The longtime safety played his career with the Chargers, the Ravens, and last year with the Rams. Had a nice long career, was known as the Beard because of his very long beard, until last year when he cut it off, and sure enough, the Rams missed the playoffs. So maybe rethink your decisions there, Weddle. But he's retired now, and he could grow his beard and sit back and relax. What do you think of the retirement?
A little bit surprising, but he just, I don't know, just seems like the time, I guess, for him. Yeah. I was surprised by it. Like, I didn't hear about that until today. So
yeah,
that gives you the sense of impact that it had on me.
Yeah, he's 35, and he's been around for what feels like forever. He's always been pretty consistent of a player. 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first team All Pro. Pretty solid all around. I could see why he walked away. Maybe just thinking that, was it worth it him to keep on especially as a defensive player where you have to tackle so much, you have to really get in the action as much as possible. Like I could see where it's maybe a little tiring, but big loss for the Rams because now a defense that didn't do too bad last year loses one of its stronger players on the back end, and that is your news roundup. We'll think of something a little bit more creative. Maybe more video gamey as a title for that in future episodes. Just didn't think about that. But anyways, moving on, we have quite the off season ahead because we're 2 weeks in, where we're in their second full week of no football, and it's very strange because this year has so much quarterback changing happening, and we're gonna see a lot of teams turn over on the quarterback front. And I was very curious the other day. I was thinking about it. What would happen? And how would the situation play out if every single suspected change at quarterback actually happened? And so that's what we're going to do today in a segment I like to call the quarterback Quake.
Okay.
And so I have listed here all the guys that I think are going to change places. And that includes Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Tom Brady, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I really buried the lead when listing these, but it's all right. Derek Carr, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, James Winston, Cam Newton, Dak Prescott, and of course I did include Drew Brees on here because he still has not signed his free agent deal. He probably will at some point, but there is no confirmation that he will be back with the Saints officially. We'll see. I also included what I called the bench list, which I included Teddy Bridgewater on, because he's likely to come off the bench and potentially be a starter for another team. And I have three quarterbacks that are up for grabs in the upcoming draft, with Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, and Justin Herbert. And so it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out. Most likely, a lot of these guys are gonna end up staying in place, but let's just play a scenario where everyone just goes everywhere. And so, Matt, get us started. What's the first quarterback change that you'd like to make here?
Okay, so I fucked around a little bit with some of these, and then you reminded me that we're changing all of them.
Yes, indeed.
So had to do some adjustments. What I just wrote there doesn't make any fucking sense. So
well, I think this is something that we could definitely work together on. Like you tell me like what's the one thing that you definitely see happening, I guess.
Okay. The one thing that I'm gonna stick with, because I really like this, Phillip Rivers to the Colts.
Okay.
Because I think that Rivers has enough talent. He can do better than Brissett did this past year to help return the Colts to their Super Bowl contention status.
I like it too. I mean, I think he's gonna play better in a dome. I mean, this year was just not a bright year for him, but I think I think it's a perfect fit. He knows Frank Reich was his former offensive coordinator. Like it just works out so well. And so I'm with you on that, Phillip Rivers. And I think you and I could agree that more than likely Jacoby Brissett goes to the bench.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't see him starting anywhere at this point.
Really didn't play that well this year, so.
Yeah, so Jacoby Brissett goes to the bench, and that leaves the spot open with the Chargers. What are you thinking right now on that front?
So, just to fuck with everything.
Okay.
Just for fun, just because everyone is changing teams, right?
Yep.
Let's put Drew Brees back where he started.
Ooh. Okay. So that actually, you know what, I like the sound of that, because he, a guy that, that was where he was going to be until injuries started piling in, and then Phillip Rivers. I mean, he didn't play well when he was a Charger, and
no.
Phillip Rivers came in, was drafted, and
Eli Manning was drafted, and then
right, and then Phillip, but Phillip Rivers, he basically, once Phillip was there, then you knew that Drew Brees was basically on his way out, and that's when he signed in 2005 with the Saints. So that would be interesting. To see if Drew Brees goes to the Chargers. I would like that a lot. And so let me interject here with the Saints. If Drew Brees thinks it's more likely to go to the Chargers, it's better to go to the Chargers, then I could see a scenario. Can I make the sole exception to our quarterback Quake and say that Teddy Bridgewater is now the starting quarterback for the Saints?
Yes.
I think that's the most likely scenario. I think if Drew Brees leaves the building, then Teddy Bridgewater would just take his spot.
He absolutely should be the starter over Taysom.
Yeah. So then that puts Teddy Bridgewater in position to take over for Drew Brees at that point. And now that for the time being keeps all of our positions filled again. What's another scenario that you're looking at in terms of potential quarterback change?
I think you should do the next one.
Oh, I'll do it. All right, I will.
Because I have a good one, but I don't want to hog all of them.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna say Oh man, Cowboys are in a win now mode, and let's say they kind of start to think, you know what? Maybe Dak is not the answer. Maybe we go with a guy that can win right this minute. And man, I'm trying to think of how I want to play this out. I think I'm gonna go with Tom Brady to the Cowboys.
Yes.
I think
God, that is such an infuriating combination of things.
I feel like Tom Brady's gonna go to the Cowboys, and I think that because my thinking is that Jerry Jones I think that he's just such a madman that he would wait on the Dak extension and then just put all the money on the table for Tom Brady to come to the Cowboys, who's a brand name, and Brady's wearing the star, and that it would make me like nauseous, but that's the kind of nuts reality that I think that he sets up essentially at that point, that Jerry Jones would set up. So now the Patriots are open. With the remaining options, right. Where do you think what happens here?
This is what's going to happen.
Yep.
Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Patriots.
Okay.
And they're also going to draft Justin Herbert as their backup for the future, but Ryan Fitzpatrick is the changeover quarterback.
Okay, so Fitzpatrick continues having starting positions at random teams. He's gonna break Josh McCown's record.
Yes.
Ultimately, and Justin Herbert now goes to the Patriots. Okay.
So on this list, he'll still be on the bench.
Yes, exactly.
But he'll be drafted by the Patriots to be the eventual starter.
Okay. Yeah, I like that because I think that especially where Patriots are in the draft, more than likely, unless they make a crazy trade up, they will most likely land Herbert. Most likely, if they were to go with quarterback. Which they would have to because Brady's gone.
Yes.
All right, so Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Patriots. What about the Dolphins now? That's interesting. I feel like I'm just gonna insert Tua.
I think that's fair. That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, because I think Tua at that point goes to the Dolphins where he. Is he completely recovered at that point from the injury that he had? That's going to be the question. They do still have Josh Rosen, so they could have Rosen start for a little bit before Tua takes over. They could that could happen. Who knows? But yeah, all right. That makes the most sense right there.
Do we just want to send Burrow to the Bengals right now and bench Dalton?
Yes. All right. Yeah, okay. I agree with that. Let's take
just get the easy stuff out of the way.
Yeah, Joe Burrow goes to the Bengals. Although we'll do it. I also see though where now Joe Burrow is starting to talk a little bit in the media about like I don't know. We'll see. If they select me. He might pull like an Eli Manning on us and try to convince the Bengals to not draft him. But yeah, no, I think Joe Burrow's playing with the Bengals this year.
There was also a fucking I think just desperate Panthers fans saying, okay, what we got to do is we got to trade McCaffrey and a bunch of picks to the Bengals to get Burrow. Yeah. Or on Twitter. I don't think that's happening. That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I think anything can happen when it comes to Cincinnati. They are a very weird, very strange organization.
Yep.
In general. All right. So
we have Jameis, Cam, Derek Carr,
and Tannehill. And there's also Dak Prescott, who is looming in the wind at the moment.
Yes, we haven't done Prescott yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are these guys going to the bench, essentially?
Okay, who do we want to send to the bench? Because I would say Derek Carr.
Really?
So Tannehill, no. Don't send him to the bench.
I'm fine with keeping him.
We can bench Winston.
It's so hard between Winston and Carr, because Carr is not explosive at all. and Winston is very explosive, and then
but
they
both
all
directions.
yeah, they're so. I will go with our initial. Damn,
Because I mean, like
that's
Carr's
that's
not
hard.
going to go. Like Jameis will throw 30 interceptions, but Carr won't throw 30 touchdowns.
Right. I I feel like there's a part of me that feels like many people still view Derek Carr as a franchise quarterback, where I think that the fact that the Buccaneers are trying to think so hard about James Winston and they're trying to figure, like, I feel like the consensus in the NFL might be that he's not a starting quarterback. So
Yeah.
I would send, if especially if he does not stay with the Buccaneers, I think that he'll go to the bench in this sense.
Yeah, Jameis won't start with any other team
Yeah.
because no other team will put up with his interceptions as long as he like the Buccaneers will love the yards part,
Yeah.
but they won't put up with the fucking 30 interceptions. So, out of these quarterbacks that are left, if we send Winston to the bench, who can throw the most yards? Because it's probably either Tannehill or Prescott who can just air it out.
I think Ryan Tannehill. I think Ryan Tannehill is the
Tannehill on the
perfect
Bucs.
quarterback to play for Arians. I think that would be great. And
All right.
I think then that would mean that Derek Carr would go to the Titans. Oof.
So, Derek Carr to the Titans. Because
So
it's
Titans get
Titans or
screwed.
Panthers.
Oh, I forgot about Cam. I completely
Yeah.
forgot about Cam.
We got Derek, Cam, and Dak still to place.
Damn. All right. Here's what I'm thinking. Derek Carr, I think, goes to the Panthers.
Okay.
I think that Cam Newton. I think that John Gruden is gonna lure Cam Newton to the Raiders. I think they switch. Do you think Titans?
Maybe.
Do you think? Because I feel like because here's the
Raiders over Titans. I can't think of cards on the table. I want Cam Newton on the Bears, but that's not going to happen.
Cards on the table.
Cards on the table. Just like just showing exactly what I want to happen. That's what I want to happen. But in this scenario, we can't do that.
Yeah, Andy Dalton's gonna be the backup of the Bears, and so you got.
I
Dalton.
am not upset. I'm not opposed to that, Chris.
Yeah, no, I know. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think that Cam Newton probably would. I'm just trying to think of a team that might have the draft capital to get him in a trade, and I think that's the Raiders right now.
The Raiders would get him in a trade.
Yeah, so that's why, and I just think that John Gruden is so quarterback obsessed that he will literally take anyone off the street and then praise them up and down, and then cut their throat. And I think that Cam Newton is the perfect quarterback in that situation.
Yep.
So I'll gladly put the Chargers in that situation. And then I think the Titans, you get a guy in Dak Prescott who had a very similar situation.
Really, really solid year like Tannehill.
Right.
And threw a lot of yards. I actually think Dak would be like a great quarterback for the Titans. Not even joking.
He might actually, and you know what? It's like it's similar systems because it's at least it's supposed to be reliant on the run, and Titans rely on Henry. The Cowboys maybe not so much near the end of the year, but they usually rely on Ezekiel Elliott. And this is like the perfect scenario for Dak Prescott, who can have that balance of a great runner and then he can throw the ball well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Titans. I think that works out. So
okay, so reading off what we got: Bengals Joe Burrow, Titans Dak Prescott, Colts Phillip Rivers, Patriots Ryan Fitzpatrick, Dolphins Tua, Raiders Cam, Chargers Breeze, Saints Bridgewater, Buccaneers Tannehill, Panthers Carr, Cowboys Brady, and then Dalton, Winston, Herbert, and Brissett on the bench.
I love it. I think that's perfect. I think we did a good job. Yeah. I was thinking like, all right, will we successfully change every single one of these? And I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at this list. I don't think a single team ends up with a terrible deal. Like I don't. No. I think everyone pretty much is like in decent shape, and
the only one like I would consider benching Carr, just personally.
Okay.
But it's still not awful.
One thing I was thinking about with the Panthers is they could have Carr and then draft, Jordan Love or something, like one of these other quarterback prospects that are not quite considered quite as high, but have
but not
talent,
not as low as Will Greer, because that didn't work out for them.
Right. Well, they keep on trying, but Derek Carr, I mean, at least, especially in a year that is supposed to be like a rebuild, that works out for them. And if you're thinking realistically,
a lower level quarterback like that,
if you're thinking realistically, in this situation, I think if Drew Brees most likely will end up staying with the Saints, and I think that Bridgewater could be a great quarterback for the Panthers at that point as a bridge guy if they get rid of Cam. If they feel like they're gonna get good value from trading Cam, and they really are just going full on rebuild, Bridgewater is like the perfect guy to bridge a whatever quarterback they want to get either this year or next year. Tank for Trevor Lawrence, who knows? Like that's also on the table. Okay, so that is your quarterback Quake. I feel like that should have some sort of sponsor attached to it, but it does not. I think that we did a very good job on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, we're hitting the runway. All right, or I should say the gridiron is Project Gridiron, because as most recently as last week, we have now 4 teams that are going to be changing their uniforms, and for fashion gurus, Matt and I would like to fashion them up with some neat uniforms.
Did that distract you?
No, I was just curious, like how much longer after I pause this would go. But Project Gridiron. But of course we can't just design the uniform, right? We can't just be straightforward like that, because we are the Virtual Ball Boys. We gotta bring us into the video game universe. We want to cater to all at the end of the day and bring in our nerdy friends. So with each of these teams, we're going to just figure out what would work out best in terms of, what would a video game inspired uniform look like for each of these teams. And so let's start with the Rams. They are a LA. They need to bring in LA. They have to bring them in and bring in this new stadium that they're going to be playing in 2020. And they got to get off on the right foot. What is some ideas that you have for the Rams?
The Rams for video game stuff. I'm trying to think of like ram or sheep-like characters.
Yes.
And I'm really drawing a blank.
So I'll go first then on this one if you want.
Okay.
The only sheep / ram / goat type character that I was thinking about.
Gonna do fucking Goat Simulator?
No. No. Although very interesting choice, but I'm gonna go with a world-renowned loved video game in Undertale. And
dude, yes.
And so yes! This is what I'm thinking about. So if anyone has played Undertale, I hope you have. I'm thinking like the floppy ears of Toriel on the helmet, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like it could be like I guess it could be like a white helmet, but like you would need to really emphasize the ears at least a little bit.
That'd be a little tricky, but I see what you're going for.
Or I mean, what we could do is make it like a black helmet with the white ears like sticking out. That might work out better. Kind of fits the Rams design where they have like the horn, already. And then I'm thinking somewhere on the uniform is the Delta rune symbol, like maybe across the chest would be really cool.
That rune symbol, yeah. Or like I'm wearing the fucking Ravens jersey right now, like the shield on the arms.
Yes. I like that. I'm trying to think what other color, because Toriel wears like purplish. So
they all kind of have that They all kind of have that like purplish, dark bluish color.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like that would be like the pants. Is that kind of maybe with like a black stripe maybe going down it as well, like a purple pants type thing. I don't know. That just it looks very Ravens-esque, but I think that's like that those.
If they're redesigning their uniforms, we're gonna redesign the whole
Yes,
thing.
we're not sticking to form on the Rams original look. So so I think that's the Torio look. Then I think is that specifically I need the ears in there. The floppy ears. I think it just is the aura that works out the best on that front.
All right, I want to go next.
Yes, go for it.
Falcons.
Okay, go.
Captain Falcon.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. I actually had written down for some reason I was thinking Falco from Star Fox. But
I was thinking that. I was thinking that too at first, but Captain Falcon and they're kind of the same character, but they're not.
No, they're not.
Like
they're not.
the blue uniforms, like blue shirt and pants, and then the red helmet with yellow accents. But all of them have to wear like those black visor things.
I love that.
Like sunglasses.
That could be really cool. Like I like the idea of like even if like the yellow militaristic like shoulder pads too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the blue like that could be really really cool looking. I
Yellow
love that.
Socks and cleats.
Yes. Holy crap. That's perfect. I don't know why I did not even like think of that because I knew I was just like there's a Nintendo character named Falcon, right? That's right, Falco. Like I just completely forgot about Captain Falcon's existence.
No, it's okay. I had the same thought too, but I'm glad the conclusion was come to this.
Yes, I know. Because it literally does look like it could easily be redesigned into a uniform. So I really like that for the Falcons. What do you have one that stands out to you that you definitely like have in mind already, like locked in?
The only other one I was thinking was for the Buccaneers.
Okay, go for it. I'll let you take that one.
So it's going to be based off of the Captain K. Rool from or King K. Rool from Donkey Kong.
Oh, dude, that's excellent.
It's fucking pirates.
Yeah.
Like lean much more into the pirate theme. A lot of black, rather than the terrible red gray color combination. I'm kidding. That's actually not too bad. The old orange stuff I hate it, but the so like have like a lot of black theme, have a green theme to it to be like the scales and stuff, since that's what all the fucking the Kremlins, was that what they were called? I didn't play Donkey Kong Country. I just main K. Rool.
They're kind of like a
the alligator dudes.
Yeah.
And it's Florida.
Right.
It works.
There was, and forgive me because I want to try to hunt this down and find it, but there was a team that played, I think. Okay, yeah, it was in Northern Kentucky, called the Northern Kentucky River Monsters, and I want you to real quick, you're sitting at your computer, just look up the uniforms. The former quarterback Jared Lorenzen, oh my god, I'm gonna mispronounce his name, and rest in peace to him. These uniforms are insane. And oh
my god,
they are basically, the entire uniform is scales, with the exception of the helmet, which is black with the logo on it. And it was I think it still is a active indoor football league in Kentucky. So
didn't arena football shut down?
This was the indoor football league.
Gotcha. Suspended operations on October 1st, 2014.
Okay, so they no longer existed. It actually looks like they only played like 2 seasons, and in separated years. So
2011, 2014.
Yeah, they're very not really consistent across the board, unfortunately. So that's what. And when you said scales, that's immediately what I had in mind for King K. Rool. All right, so now the Browns. This is a tough one, because you could go in a lot of different directions here. You can stick with you have the Browns' old look, and we could go down a lot of silly, toilet related jokes if you wanted to. I'm sure. I just because it's near and dear to my heart, and in no way, shape, or form is it a famous video game, but I would love a uniform designed after Jake from Dog's Life.
That is such, like, I have my niche interests in video games. That is such, like, a niche fucking thing.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Jake from Dog's Life, which I'm not good with dogs, so I could not tell you what kind of dog that he is. But I would love a uniform where they just embrace like a multicolored dog that has like brown and white spots throughout the uniform. Like they just fully embrace the dog pound. I feel like that's what it's leaning towards.
This just reminded me of when I was watching your fucking Let's Play of it. And the fucking dude the German scientist whose name was Wiener Schnitzel or something.
I really hope you don't have to pay a full $60 or something to get this game, but please just get it so you can understand what my childhood was.
Listen, like I have those niche games, like I mean, you and I are both My Sims people.
Yes.
One of my niche games is like the fucking Lego Island Extreme Stunts game. Fucking love that game.
Yes.
But this. And I too played a lot of like movie tie-in games because I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
Okay, so if we don't go with that though, is there another famous video game dog?
No, we're gonna go with this.
No, we're just sticking with this at this point.
We're going to.
We could have done KK Slider, go all white.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just. Jesus.
I ruined it for the Browns.
You bit the bullet for the
good of the podcast.
Fucking Dog's Life.
For Dog's Life. Absolutely. I will sacrifice myself for the good of Jake, the farting dog.
He's an American Foxhound, by the way.
American Foxhound. There you go.
No, Daisy's an American Foxhound. What the fuck is Jake?
We have no idea what Jake is anymore. He's like...
No, Jake's an American Foxhound. The Wikipedia description doesn't make any sense.
Why? What does it say?
Because this is what it says. One day the protagonist, Jake, witnesses Daisy, an American foxhound who he has a crush on, being taken by dog catchers. Are Jake and Daisy the same type of dog?
No.
Okay.
Like, she's like a Labrador or
okay.
something.
But it says witnesses Daisy, an American foxhound whom he has a crush on. And you click on the link for American Foxhound and it fucking looks like Jake.
Yeah, okay. So this is...
Like,
they're
so even the Wikipedia... Like that's the type of dog Jake is.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing in that Wikipedia article. I'm guessing it's Labrador because it's very. Oh, excuse me. It's like the blonde hair dog.
Yes,
so
Daisy is a Labrador.
Yeah,
yellow lab.
There you go. That works out perfectly. Okay. Yeah. No. You know what? The Browns deserve. You know what? The Browns deserve a D-list video game as their fucking uniform.
Absolutely.
So you know what?
They do not. You don't get a Mario. You get fucking.
You get Jake
Dog's
from Dog's
Life.
Yeah. So you gotta deal with it. All right. So that's that. If any of these come true, we want to be compensated, NFL teams.
Yep.
Okay.
So make sure this gets posted before anything's announced.
They will most of the time these uniform things happen like right before the draft or like the month of the draft at least. So then we got some time. We got some cushion for them to like contemplate this idea because I'm sure they're all at square one right now and have not even thought about their new uniforms. Certainly. All right. And last but not least, before we close it out for our first off-season podcast, we want to introduce a segment that's going to go across a few episodes, slightly inspired by the XFL. With their new football league working out pretty nicely out of the gate, doing well. We know that we could totally afford to make a football league if we wanted to, just right now. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna create a football league, and we're gonna do one team at a time, one per episode. Find a town that deserves a football team, and the way we're gonna do that is using a random town generator that'll give me one team that we did not see at all, or one town rather, I should say, that we did not see at all prior to us recording. We have no idea what's gonna breed out. Then you're scared.
I'm not optimistic that we're gonna get good teams.
Good cities. I'm very optimistic. I think that we're gonna make a lot of towns happy because we're gonna talk about them. We're gonna learn about their history, learn a bit about the culture there, and we're gonna give them a football team that we think is going to work out perfectly for them. I have no idea where this segment's gonna go. But hey, this is the first time we're doing it, so we'll get better as it goes along. All right, so I'm on the town generator. Write me some towns. We're going to Brainerd. Brainerd, hold on. They don't give me the state. Is in Minnesota. We're going to Brainerd, Minnesota. So already, by the way, for you, Matt, it's Brainerd.
Okay.
Go.
Population of 14,000.
14.
Which is less than the number of students in the school district that I teach in.
Franchise.
Looks like any other Midwest county where it's empty space and like 5 cities.
Okay.
5 towns.
Cool. I find this interesting. It's in a county called Crow Wing County, Minnesota.
Okay.
What?
So that's a like mascot possibility.
It is the county seat of Crow Wing County and is one of the largest cities in central Minnesota.
I would like to point out that most of the population of Minnesota lives in the south part.
So there you go. But still, I just found that funny because we were like, "Wow, that is a small ass town." But no, it's the largest city in central Minnesota. All right, so let's look into the history of Brainerd right now.
October 27th, 1933, the First National Bank of Brainerd became briefly famous when it was held up by Babyface Nelson at his game.
Where is this? I don't even know where you're looking right now.
It's on Wikipedia in the history section.
I know. I'm trying to find it. Oh, yeah.
Partway through.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That's awesome. Alright, so Robbers is
baby faces.
The crooks. The baby faces. The Brainerd baby faces.
Northwest Paper Company had the first paper mill in 1903.
Interesting. The baby face Nelson. I can't get over that. Now I feel like I want to like dig in deep into the history of Babyface Nelson, but we don't have time for that.
He was like a robber, like a famous robber.
I never heard of him before this very moment. The fact that he's called Babyface Nelson just makes my day. The paper mill was the first paper mill was built in 1903. Why do I feel like that's like late? I feel like the paper mill was around before that.
Yeah, but the Midwest was settled later than your fancy East Coast New York.
That's all right. Don't go full on like East Coast elite on me.
I'm not that type of person.
Please, I understand.
Saying,
we're not the center of the universe.
Than most things.
Yes, no, I know.
It was founded in the 1870s, so the town had been around.
Can we
for
appreciate
like 30 years.
that the water tower looks like a snail?
Yeah. With the flags, it's Gary the Snail right there.
The brain nerd snails.
Remember the fucking SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob and Squidward like fucking transform into a snail?
Yeah, that looks like the Squidward transformation. Actually,
yeah.
This water tower. Do you know that the new movie coming out is gonna be based around Gary being lost again?
Yeah.
Like, even though that was a played out concept in a full feature length 30-minute episode
already.
Yeah. Jesus.
All right, so we got Crowing, we got Paper Mills, we got Babyface.
All right. Due to many lakes in the area, Brainerd has become a popular summertime destination for those owning cabins in the area, better known as the Brainerd Lakes. I am pronouncing it right? Like
Brainerd.
Yeah. Brainerd itself is now heavily developed into commercial and residential areas. It has seen an uptick in development in the recent years. So that's kind of like new age stuff. What's happening there. I always like going down to the notable people that came from the area. Joe Haig, who is a current offensive lineman for the Indianapolis Colts, is from this fucking town.
He sure is.
That is awesome. And everyone else is you do have an MLB picture of early 20th century, born in Brainerd.
Bullet Joe Bush.
Yeah, but Bullet Joe Bush
looks like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of baseball players.
Really?
It's on so many fucking teams.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah.
And lasted like 16 years.
Hey, if you could do it, pull it out. In popular culture, though taking its title from a nearby city in North Dakota, the Coen brothers' 1996 film Fargo was set partly in Brainerd, that's interesting.
Okay.
However,
Fargo's like
that's a big film.
That's something people know about.
However, production took place in Halleck, Minnesota. All right. Well, it's the same thing. Like
my hometown is the setting of Wayne's World, but nothing was filmed. Nothing was filmed in my hometown.
Yeah. No, that's very fair. There's the Northland Arboretum, the Paul Bunyan State Trail. These little fancy schmancy plays. The Brainerd International Raceway. I didn't even think it was possible to race in Minnesota of all places, just because I feel like it's like always snowing there. It's very slippery up there.
It's a drag strip.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it has drag races. There is like a full track though.
Oh yes, I see.
And it gets hot enough during the summer.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right, I think we've learned enough about this town now. Okay. So what's our options now? This is the
Crows,
Crow Wing
some
County.
Of the drag strips.
Actually, keep on naming them. I'm gonna look up and see if Brainerd, Minnesota has the official. Yes, they do. They have an official freaking site. Oh my Jeebus. I absolutely. I love how their logo is their freaking what looks like their water tower.
The water tower. Could do something with that. Kind of looks like a castle. Could do something castle related. Especially if they put it on their city thing.
Can we name this football team the Brainerd Water Districts? Oh my god. I wanna look at these what annual events can you possibly have in the middle of buttfuck Minnesota is what I'm curious about.
Well, probably everything. Yep, look at that. 4th of July celebration. Easter egg hunt, Great Pumpkin Festival. This is all Midwest stuff.
The Great Pumpkin Festival.
This is just the Midwest. Dog events, fun events throughout the year for you and your dog.
So vague.
We're shitting on a small town in fucking Minnesota.
Well, okay, so I just want to back up, and I want to really appreciate the fact that right before we started filming, that you were very, you were warning me about this very thing.
Okay, I was warning about, I think I specifically said less than 10,000.
Yeah, all right. So this just beats the
threshold, and it's Minnesota. Minnesota is the least corny of all the Midwestern states.
So that was the big issue that you presented, was that you did not want a corn town.
Shoutouts to Strawn, Illinois, with 1,000 people. There's nothing there.
All right. So I think. I was hoping that there might be something a little bit more that pops, but there is just nothing. There's nothing interesting. They have not updated their newsletter since August 2019.
Sounds about right.
They have just dropped. There's just nothing happening in this area. Okay, so it was the Crow wing. Is the fact that we have a babyface robber. Criminal. They're also very much loving their water tower, that serves as a symbol of the community. Because that is legit what it is. They legit embrace their water tower, which I actually think is very pure in a lot of ways.
That's cool.
They also. Go ahead.
I'm very the way it looks. They definitely tried to make it look like a castle or fortress of some kind.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it definitely is. You could do the Crusaders.
I don't like the connotations of the Crusade, so I prefer not to use that.
That's fair. I'm thinking Castle Crusaders, that kind of thing. But I get it. I understand. Castle. 'Cause I feel like Knights is too easy.
Knights is too easy.
Knights is overplayed.
Defenders is XFL easy way.
Yeah, to defend. God, I can't believe they have the Guardians and the Defenders. How is this? How is the XFL successful?
Right.
With
then the Dragons.
And the Dragons though.
Dragons are cool.
The Dragons are cool though.
I really like the Dragons uniforms. Not gonna lie.
Seattle, I am definitely not necessarily associating with New York Guardians. So.
Could do Paladins. That's a little different.
Yes. And I think it fits. I think when I think about Paladins, I think that's very I think we're about to play a game of D&D when I hear Paladins. I think that that fits our brand a little bit on that front. One thing I find a little interesting.
Paladins are also super nice. And Minnesotans are known for being really nice.
They're basically the United States is Canada.
Yes.
So it's kind of like that. Yes. That very much it fits that mold. I did. By the way, I did want to at the very least, stop by the Brainerd Public School District. I can't find their athletics anywhere, which I find very weird. I feel like that would be something that they would want to promote, and that they would have a mascot or something. I don't see anything on their website for that. They might.
They're the Warriors.
They are the Warriors. Okay, so Thank God we can avoid. Although, and again, Warriors is also overplayed a little bit in the realm of football. I like, if we're gonna
it does seem to be like a Greek type warrior though. European warrior, not a other type of warrior.
Right. Well, that's good though. I'm down to name it Paladins.
Yeah, I'm good with Paladins.
All right.
So, first member of.
What are we even calling this league?
The VBBL.
The BBBFL.
VBBFL.
Yeah, the VBBFL.
VFL, virtual football. VFL.
Could do VFL, the virtual
VFL,
football league.
Yeah. So Brainerd Paladins.
The Brainerd Paladins, go as on the list, and we'll see We will organize these teams into conferences very soon. So what's the mascot? What are we naming the mascot?
Oh, the specific mascot, not just the.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking like because now we're getting into branding. We got brand.
Paladin. Perry the Paladin.
Is it a platypus? Is it a platypus? Platypus Kokums.
Maybe.
You know what? I actually let's have it. Let's have Perry the
Paladin.
Perry the Paladin. Perry the Paladin, and the colors are the Perry the Platypus.
Perry the Platypus colors. Okay.
Yeah,
Nothing to do with Brainerd. Just my stupidity. There.
No, Perry the Paladin. Well, no. You know what? I think I like. They have kind of like the green and blue, like dark blue, kind of similar to Seattle, but I kind of like that the fact that that's their colors that they're kind of rolling with. I think that we could go in that direction. They're dark blue with the green. If you're looking at like the city seal, because let's remember this is a city, which is quite wild to think about again. But
technically counts as a city.
Can technically refer that. I mean, that's what they're flexing at least is that they're a city.
Right.
The dark.
I don't know what the legal differences are between a city or a village or a town, just other than what they decided on when they settled it.
Yeah, I think so. I think something along those lines. I think, well, like certainly like I think a town is like unincorporated versus like a village and city, which has like a little bit more of an establishment.
Yeah.
Or well, at least when I think about towns, I think of like broad spectrums of town. Like I think of a town having like multiple villages within it. Like that's kind of that's at least where I live. That's very much the case. On that,
it's front. A little different in Illinois, just because Illinois is a lot more spread out.
Yes, no, I'm sure.
When you get outside of the suburbs,
we are both figuratively and literally dense here on Long Island. All right, so yeah, so the dark blue green Perry the Paladin of the Brainerd Paladins is our first official team. I like this segment. I enjoyed learning about Brainerd. I don't mean to shit on Brainerd at all. I appreciate learning about the culture a lot, and I hope that you appreciate the fact that we have awarded you the very first football team, professional football team to ever play in Brainerd. Oh,
yeah,
and just one more thing about the Brainerds. I want to find Brainerd football field. I want to see if
probably their high schools.
That's what I'm guessing too. But I'm just gonna pull. I want to pull it up on a map at least, just to see if it's even like big enough. Like I can imagine it just being like a dirt field or something. Sorry, this is all very rude of me, Brainerd. I apologize.
I mean, it's probably grass.
Ooh! Oh my God! Holy crap! If you go on the Brainerd High School and you look up their map, it looks like a freaking it looks like a huge ass park. Like they have like 3 football fields. And 3 baseball fields rather, and like a football field and like a whole lot of like grass, and it's like surrounded by like what looks like lakes in the middle of their park in like the school fields. It's insane. My God,
that's crazy. I would like to satellite view, but Google Maps isn't doing that for me right now.
Yeah, that's wild. That's awesome. That's cool. Perfect.
And the Mississippi River's right there.
Yeah. There you go. That's perfect. You know what? It's scenic. It's by the water, and you know how much these football stadiums love being by the water. It's great.
Yep.
It works out perfectly. All right.
You know, the funny thing is I think the Mississippi River is the least important to the state that it's named after.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's just like, all right, we got the leftovers of this, whatever. Yeah. Who cares? Let's call it Mississippi River then.
It doesn't even like empty in Mississippi. It empties in Louisiana.
So like they're the most useless state. So they were like, you know what? everyone else gets a piece of this river. We don't really like care about it, but like we don't really need it. But like, why not just? Can we at least have the name of it, please?
Yeah.
Can we at least have that aspect of the river? That would be nice. Thank you. All right, that is that. So we put the Brainerd Paladins in the books, and we will be moving forward into next week with another team in the works. Or not next week. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. We'll talk a little bit of Combine, and I'm sure usually during Combine Week a whole bunch of shit comes out, a whole lot of news. We'll have a lot of news to talk about, and we have plenty of other segments that we're also gonna try out and test. But I think a good first off-season episode overall, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Good fortnight and good ball. Virtual Ball Boys has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at Virtual Ball Boys and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.